Hey y'all, it's Shanda from Labors of Love here with another Therapy Thursday. And today I want to talk about language. Language fuels belief. So what we call a thing, we start to believe about the thing. Advertisers know this. Perpetuators of oppressive systems understand this. I want parents specifically to understand this. So it was not uncommon growing up to hear terms said about people. Some of those terms were lazy, hard-headed, bad, fast. These are just some words that come to mind. So hard-headed, like what did that mean? That was intended to describe a child or person who had been told to do something or told not to do something, and they did the opposite. Right? But what would happen if instead of hard-headed, we called a child curious? Because that's really what hard-headedness comes down to. They are still trying to figure out a thing. And maybe they're pushing boundaries to do it, but it's usually still in an attempt to get a need met or curiosity. When people called someone bad, well, really, that just meant anything. If a kid was loud, they were bad. If a kid was running, they were bad. Well, what does that mean? But think about the implications, because I didn't just hear these words said about other people. I heard them said to them. So you might hear right now, it's a nice day. There are kids outside screaming their heads off like they're like at an amusement park. I said to my husband, like, why are they screaming like that? And he's like, that's what kids do. And I sat here and think, I didn't do that as a kid. But that got me to thinking, no, I didn't, because exuberance and energy and all of that stuff was oftentimes categorized into some of these words. And I didn't want to be a bad kid. I wanted to be a good kid. So that meant I knew at a very young age how to sit still, how to not touch things I wasn't supposed to, how to say the things I was supposed to say, not say the thing. But what I realize is I'm in my 40s and I am regaining imagination. I'm learning to be imaginative and curious because as a child, I wasn't allowed to be so in certain environments, right? So what are the words that we are using to describe people? Fast. That was a term used to describe, I only heard those who identified as female called fast. I never heard boys called fast. And that could have been anything from a young girl being relational or attempting to be relational with someone of the opposite sex. And that could have just been being friendly. It could have been described based on the clothes that a person was wearing. Oh, they're fast. But what does that mean, right? So I want to encourage us to think about the language that we're using. When we start to use language that would suggest what's actually going on, I try not to use the term even tantrum. They're dysregulated and their dysregulation is showing through their bodies. That's a whole different way than saying they over there having a tantrum. Nope, it looks like they're dysregulated and their dysregulation is coming out in their body. If we can use accurate language to talk about what's actually happening, oh, that kid over there is being real curious about their environment. Instead of nosy or whatever those things are, we treat people different based on the language that we're using. So that's my invitation this week. Can we notice the language we're using about ourselves? The times when I think I'm feeling lazy, I'm not lazy, I'm tired. And my body is telling me that. So can we observe the language we use about ourselves and the language we use about other people? And can we just make an attempt to be more accurate with what's happening instead of using judgmental language that then leads us to judge others? So if you want to get in touch with me, you can reach me at www.thelaborsoflove.com. Don't forget, we're on all the major social media outlets. If you want to continue to support my work, please, I have a Patreon that you can participate in with Patreon specific content, but also don't forget that you can share, like, and comment on the videos and the podcast. If you haven't already, take a listen, give us that 5-star rating, write a review, and share it with your loved ones and friends. Until we connect again, you all be well.